Appreciate you, and welcome to the How to Hustle podcast with Hype. This is episode 21. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at I am Hype. All right, as I keep telling y'all, things are always progressing here on the How to Hustle podcast with Hype. We debuting right now today, debuting on the I Say Radio Network today. Shouts out to South Carolina, shouts out to North Carolina. As always, though, you can find me on the X Squad affiliates Mondays at 2. You can find me on the GFT Radio Network Tuesdays at 2 and the WTNUphilly.com Thursdays at 12:30. And now I Say Network 10 a.m. Fridays. Special guest for the episode today. Introduce yourself to the audience.
Yo, what's going on? Frank Stylz of the 336 Pull-Up Podcast, as well as operations manager of the I Say Podcast Network.
Yeah, he got a real title, operations manager.
What's happening, man?
Nothing much, always hustling, baby. This is how you hustle. Welcome to
Yes,
the How to
sir.
Hustle podcast. We are officially legal. We can get drinks and shit now. This is episode 21, baby.
There you go. There you go.
All right, so we always let the guests go first on the How to Hustle podcast with Hank. This is the topic of the day. Blank is wrong with me. What's wrong with you, Frank? Is this wrong with you? And it's fine that it's wrong with you because you're going to admit it and you accept that this is what's wrong with you. What is it?
I'm gonna say music is wrong with me. I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm gonna share this. You're getting an exclusive today. Exclusive, right?
That's what we like it on the How to Hustle podcast.
Secretly. Now I'm an R&B cat. I love hip hop. That's my shit. But secretly, I love 80s music, bro. I secretly love 80s music. Like I work out to that shit. I listen to that shit. Like 80s music. And it might just be because that's what I grew up on. I remember when, you know what I'm saying? When like MTV started and shit like that. But I secretly, music is what's wrong with me. But I also wonder, I'm an eclectic. I love music. I love art. But I wonder if there's other people that are black that like that shit too. Like I like 80s R&B. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, that's classic shit. But when I say 80s, I'm talking about like pop shit. I'm talking about like rock shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
music is all about time and place. So
Yeah.
when you hear a song, you're going to always glorify when you was 16.
Yeah.
So you hear a song that puts you back in the 11th grade, you're going to go, oh shit, this is whatever it is. When you see a movie or anything that reminds you of time and place, you're going to always glorify that. So that's understandable regardless to who it is. So this is along the lines of something that shout out to Unpopular Opinions. My man, Bruce Leroy, they doing an interview series and it was like, what's the song that's in your rotation that don't nobody know about? And I said, Kobe Coldplay. What was the joint? When she got the joint, Realize that's my shit, yo.
See, yeah. There's a lot of shit. Like when you go back and you think about like that time, like yo, bro, I remember like Bon Jovi, Def Leppard. You know, if you go into the '90s, you talk about like Nirvana. You know what I'm saying? That shit with Gwen Stefani, like shit like that. You know what I mean?
What's your joint then? All right, you in the gym, you got a full lather going, and it's like, all right, I got one more set to get through. And I gotta get through it. I'm going to this song to get me to it. What's the song now?
If it's an 80s joint, it's probably gonna be some like old Rocky shit, like the Survivor shit, like that Eye of the Tiger shit, some shit like that.
So you get the movie montage playing in your head?
Get the movie montage going. That shit'll always fire you up, bro. That shit'll always fire you up. If it's some hip hop shit, I'm probably going with the Wu. You know what I'm saying? Like Wu-Tang that's my shit. Like I didn't realize how I knew they was talented, but when you go back and listen like lyrically, now that I'm older, you go back and listen to them lyrically and some of the shit they were saying for their era, that shit was crazy. You know what I mean?
Hey, I listened to this was like 2 years ago. Tupac was my favorite rapper.
Right.
And listening to Tupac and Biggie back to back is like, man, I didn't want to admit it back in those days, but Big is washing Pac on these joints. Like,
well, yo, it's funny you say that, right, Heinz? It's funny you say that because people will want to fight you about if you say Pac wasn't lyrical. You know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is, if you really, really listen to it, to me, I love Tupac, but he was more poetic to me than he was lyrical. So
he gets repetitive. He gets repetitive because this is something we was talking about. We was talking about this just yesterday. Me and my man was talking about this yesterday.
Uh-huh.
It's one of those things where it's like you doing too much content to the point where it's like you're not taking the time to break this down. When he got to Death Row, he wasn't taking the time to break his joints down and listen back to him and all of that. It was just, if I get these 3 albums done, then I can get the hell out of here.
Yeah, push that shit out. Right.
You start listening to it, and it's like, you just said that though 3 songs ago. You just said something similar 2 songs ago. On the verse before this, you just said something similar. But that happens though when you don't structure, take the time to put your shit together. Like if you just, I'm gonna do it. Like then at some point it gets to get repetitive. Like
right.
But like I said, he's my favorite.
Right.
But if we're gonna be realistic, just because you're my favorite doesn't mean that you're the best.
True. I'm gonna tell you when he got me. Like when he first came out, when he dropped his first joint. What was it? Tupac? Was that the Tupacalypse now? Was that the one that was his first joint? The one with Brenda's Got a Baby on it?
Yeah.
Right.
Let's be sure, be accurate, and we giving out no cap information here on the How to Hustle podcast. Go ahead, I'll look it up.
Even know his first album. Well, whatever the joint was with Brenda's Got a Baby, when he dropped that joint, for me, I was like, okay, he got a couple of tracks on there, but I really wasn't feeling it. You feel me? But when he dropped Me Against the World, that was it. When he dropped Me Against the World, that was it for me. Like, yo, I like every track on that album when he dropped it. So that was the one for me. But
Me Against the World was 95.
Yeah.
Yeah, Me Against the World was 95. That was when he was getting his groove.
That's when he
By
got
the time
locked up.
when All Eyes on Me hit, that was Tupac at his peak. I mean, his peak ain't last that long now.
Yep. And what made me anticipate that All Eyes on Me was the Me Against the World. I had fell in love with that joint so much. I was like, yo, when he come out, and then when he dropped the video with the California Love, when he was like out on jail, fresh out of he's out on bail,
that was
out of jail.
Yeah, that was my shit with Dr. Dre. Yeah.
That was crazy.
California Love, that's what I'm saying. That's one of them joints at the gym. All right, I got this last set to bang through. All right, I can't even find it because all of these albums they got on here. Yeah, Tupacalypse Now was 91. Okay, yeah, that was his first joint. They got all this shit in 04, 06. It's like, all right, come on with all these joints.
Yeah, those are just a bunch of redone.
That's what I'm saying. They're killing me with all of that.
Yeah, Tupacalypse Now. Yep.
All right, let's get back on the topic. For me, I'm a control freak. Okay. I have to control the whole situation. This is one of those things I always say is I'm a ball dominant guard. I gotta hit a ball at the top of the key. I'm calling for the screen. I'm running the play. I'm gonna execute the play. I'm gonna put you in a position to maximize your ability. But ultimately, I'm gonna decide when you get to use your ability.
I got you.
If you recognize that about yourself, it's cool.
Yeah.
Because you'll recognize when I'm being too much of me in this situation, and this doesn't call for me to be the point guard.
Right. It's a gift for the curse, right? The gift,
no question.
The gift is you can recognize the fact of what your faults are, or if you want to call that a fault, I wouldn't call it a fault. But the gift is, hey, I know how to. You put me in a situation, put me in charge of that situation. I can handle it. I know what needs to be done, and I'm gonna get it done. The curse is sometimes you're put into situations where when you have people around you that can help you get that thing done, you got to know how to delegate and allow them to do it. You can't do everything by yourself because then it becomes too much.
See, this is another thing that all of that stems from for me is I'm an extremist. I can't half do shit. So like if I'm gonna have kids, I'm gonna be dad. Like this is, I gotta be here for all of it. I'm saying I gotta see you fall. I gotta help you up. We going to the hospital. We going here, there, where the hell ever. I gotta be there. If I'm doing a podcast, I gotta get as many radio stations as I possibly can so that I can dominate the situation. Like I can't just half-ass it and be sitting there talking to my damn self. Like I need to get this shit everywhere. Like that's just me. It'd be like people don't be wanting it as much as you, but that's fine as long as As long as you recognize these things, like it's always like self-evaluations. If you
Right.
can recognize in yourself that you're gonna take this shit too far, like you're gonna overdo it, and we know you're overdoing it, then that's cool.
Right. Right. It's a gift and a curse, man. At the end of the day, though, but self-evaluation is always important. Once you recognize, what your faults are or what you deem to be your faults, that's how you improve upon it, right? That's how you make those things get better. If you're a perfectionist at what you do, there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes, like you said, you can overdo it, but you can start recognizing when you overdo it. That's why you bring other people in to get their opinion, right? And the other thing is everybody's not going to recognize what you are trying to do as a person, right? Your dream is not going to be somebody else's dream. That's why I've learned over time, what like people are not going to see the vision that I may see, right? That's why you have to get with like-minded people that understand the vision and understand somewhat of what you're trying to accomplish so that you can keep moving forward, because you stick with the same people, that ain't going to happen.
This is the thing, like, it's like you said, is you have to acknowledge, you have to recognize in yourself that, okay, this is not the situation for me to be me.
Right.
Because I'm walking in the situation. Like we'll use the radio station we'll use the I Say network, for example.
Right.
Me coming in, I can't walk in the door and dominate an already established situation.
Right.
I can't come in saying this is the way shit is going to run, and this is like, because it ain't my situation. But knowing that going in the door, I know that, so I'm not going to come in on no, what the fuck you mean somebody got 2 o'clock? I want 2 o'clock. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, you can't do that. You have to recognize, okay, this is not that situation. So you can still be that person, but you just have to come in, read the room, and say,
there you go.
Okay, this is the slot where nobody's in for the situation. I'm going to dominate the hell out of this area to the point where you're going to make them say, so Hank, what you think about this? And what you think about that? Because clearly he has this under control. He got that already. That we ain't got to worry about. That's always my thing. Is like, if you put me in a situation, you're never questioning or worrying about what the fuck is going on over there, because you know it's taken care of.
Yep. That's
and
crazy,
again, it goes back to me being an extremist.
That's what I was going to say, Hank. That's crazy. You said it right. What I was going to say. Read the room, bro. If more people read the room and the people around them, shit would be a lot smoother, especially when it comes to business, right? A lot of motherfuckers don't read the room. I'll give you an example. An example of that, in my opinion, is you look at the situation between Jay and Dame. I love Dame. I love the way that Dame speaks out. I love the way that Dame talks about business and understanding and doing shit on his own. I think that shit is great. But back then, Jay had to be like, yo, some of the shit that Dame was doing, Jay had to be like, yo, I'm seeing a bigger picture. And if I'm going to be able to have business and conduct business with these same people in this industry, I can't have this motherfucker screaming at CEOs and CFOs and executives because he didn't get his way or because he didn't get a phone call. They're going to associate me with him, and that could be my downfall. You feel me? So I think reading the room is very, very important. And if more people did that, shit would be a lot smoother.
All right. See, I love the way you brought this up, because I'm a person who likes the tie-in. I always like to connect things. If people pay attention, everything connects to everything with me. And you brought this up the second time I was on the 336. We did a whole discussion about Jay-Z. So I love that you brought that up. I love the way that you like the read in the room for him was Dame is fucking up the bag. Dame is fucking up the long-term bag. We're getting things done at this point, but over time, Dame's going to fuck this situation up for us. The only problem I had in that situation is, again, reading the room, and this is your man. You got to communicate to him like, yo, look, you know what I'm saying? This is what I'm seeing. I want you to come with me, but if you can't capitulate, if you can't read this room and see that you're fucking this up, then we got to part ways. We can still be cool. I still love you and all of that, but this is business. This is not personal. People always confuse business and personal. Business isn't personal. It's just business.
Just business. That's right. That's right. You learned that in The Godfather, right? That's a great movie. That's why I try to tell people, especially as you get older, you want to learn a lot of lessons, watch The Godfather. Watch both of them, Godfather 1 and 2, because there are so many lessons in there. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is communication is key, right? If we're in business and you my man, and I'm like, yo, I get what you're trying to say. I get what you're doing, but hey, bro, we're gonna have to see these people 10 or 12 years from now, 20 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
Where we gonna be at, right? We on this run right now, but eventually that run gonna go out. Then where are we going to be? And so it as far as what we know, that shit never happened. But just put yourself in a position, not saying anything's wrong with Dame, but who would you rather be right now? Would you rather be Dame or would you rather be Jay? You know what I'm saying? That's the way I look at it.
The way I would say this is because the communication with your man is so key for me. I got the same friends since forever. Like I don't remember there was no life without these same guys. So it's like the communication of, yo, look, this is what I'm seeing. This is what you're doing to mess up this situation. So I'm telling you that we got to go this way because this is the way that's going to give us the long-term success. That's the problem with a run. That's the problem with a run. Niggas think a run is never going to end.
Right.
But guess what? When you're watching a game, the niggas go on a 20-0 run and then it's over. They don't go on an 80 to nothing run. It's not the Roman Empire where we're going to rule for 100 years. Like, no, you're going to run this shit for a small amount of time. While you're running it again, read the room, evaluate the situation and say, okay, how do we get this shit to go to 30 points or to go to 50 points or to go to 60 points? Or how do we get a 20-0 run in the next game or the next game or the next game? Like, you got to always be looking to improve. You can't get stagnant in your situation and just think, I'm at the pinnacle and it's never going to get no better than this, so I might as well start relaxing. Like,
yeah. It's like he told him, Jay told him, like the artists that were under him, right? Beans and all them guys. He was like, yo, enjoy this now. Make sure you're doing right with what you're getting. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you, 50 Cent is coming. You know what I'm saying? He said 50 Cent is coming. And then when 50 dropped, it was over. You know what I'm saying? He had his era. And he had his run, rather. So I think people, like you said, people think that they're going to be on this run forever. No, everybody runs end at some point. Some are longer, some are shorter, right? But at the end of the day, it's going to end. And when it ends, you have to look back at yourself. If you're the person in that run and say, what did I accomplish? What did I do? And what's my next move?
Hey, man, nobody had a run like Motown. Motown ended.
Bruh, have you ever seen the documentary on that? They got one on Hulu. Check it out, man.
Why do you think I brought it up? My mom was watching the Motown documentary, and I'm like, they had him and him and her and him and him. Like,
yeah, man. What that joint is good, bro. Like, yo, the fact that they had Barry Gordy and Smokey on there, like half of the songs that was written in Motown were wrote by them too. That's why they pay. Smokey is still paid to this day. Think about it, bro. Smokey wrote My Girl.
Yeah, I was watching this shit. They had Stevie Wonder, they had Michael Jackson. Like, they was killing me. I'm like, I didn't know I had all these niggas. How do you have all these niggas under one roof? Like,
bro, all that talent. Like, who's going to be the main focus, right? That's the question. Like, yo, who's going to be from out of all of that talent? How do you continue to push all of your artists that way? It's like having a football team that has an all-star cast, and it's like, okay, it's great we got this all-star cast. How are we going to give them all playing time? You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. Crazy.
It was, can you be what was it? Can you be damn, what was it? Was something to do like with jealousy or some shit. Damn, I'm effing up my own situation. But anyway, it was along the lines of can you be jealous without hating? That's what it was. And It was like, in that situation where you got that much talent in the room, it's not even jealousy, it's just competitive, it's the competitive nature.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, damn, Frank and them was on the station and they got 1,000 views. I gotta get to 1,001. I'm not going, how the fuck they get to 1,000? Like, that's some bullshit. Like, no, I'm not that boy at all. I'm gonna go, okay, this is the bar now. This is where we gotta get to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is what I'm gonna run for. But in that same vein, if the next person looks at it like that, and the next person, then it all makes the whole situation grow. It makes us all better. Like, instead of just I'm dominating and I got 10,000 and y'all niggas is at 14, like 1,400. Like, that doesn't make the situation better.
No. It doesn't. It doesn't. I'll tell you a quick story because I know we're coming up on time. But I run a youth league, a football team, right? Not a football team, a football league. And so one of the things was when we created this league, we were like, yo, we're tired of seeing the city get all this money from these teams and not give anything back to them. But you got to pay the city, you got to use their fields, they get all the concessions. So we put together our own league. And so now each individual organization makes money to continue to grow their league and to continue to grow, right? But it's like, yo, when you are hating on another group of people because of their success, it then becomes a problem, because now, to me, in my opinion, what I've also learned is that deters you from your success, right? If anything, you got to get some people around you and try to figure out, like, yo, how did they do this? I'm not saying I got to get to that number, but what did they do? What was their plan? How did they come up with these type of ideas?
How did they execute that? Yeah.
How did they execute that plan to get there, right? Because we need something like that. And so what I did was, I was brand new, scared to death when we moved from the city league. I got around some people that were successful with their league, found out how they did things, and then took their plan and put it around me. And boom, the next thing you know, when our team started to grow. And so it's just one of those things, man. You got to be willing to sacrifice your pride and ego to learn. And if you can't do that, you're never going to be successful.
Pride doesn't pay bills is another thing I love to say. All right, let's switch it up now. This is something I always like to do, because International Hype is one of the hashtags. Let the listeners know where you're coming from.
Coming from Greensboro, North Carolina, the Triad. You know what I mean? Home of Aggie City, home of the North Carolina A&T Aggies.
All right, so now let's talk a little bit about I Say Radio Network.
Mm-hmm.
That's a North Carolina, South Carolina situation. Talk to the listeners and let them know about this.
Absolutely. So I Say Podcast Network is a network of creators that formed this year to put together some of the dopest podcasts that are out there, different topics, different cultures. So, for example, What's on the Plate with Amanda. What's on the Plate is a cooking show where, we go out, guests or Amanda, who's the host, goes out. She reviews local restaurants in the area, buys a dish, tells you how that dish is. And that's done. You can catch that on YouTube on the I Say Podcast Network. But then when you're just talking about podcasts and audio, you're looking at, the 336.
Give me all of it. Don't shortchange it. Give me the whole thing. Don't shortchange it. Let them know about all of it.
Yeah. Absolutely. So you have What's on the Plate with Amanda. You can find that on I Say Podcast Network. You have Real Fantasy, which is, they're on break right now, but they're going to be our pretty much our flagship podcast. You got Victoria Rosa, Danny, and you have DJ Love. Those girls come together and talk about some of everything. You can check them out. You then have the 336 Pull Up Podcast with yours truly, my boy Jay Nice and Stevie Kicks. And then you also have Grit Talk, group of friends out of Charlotte that come together and talk about different things going on. And also Whose Man Is This with my man Shy from the Foe and his co-host, where they get together, Cass, that's her name, Cass. They get together and they talk about relationships and how things are.
Sitting at the table with the little clips. I've seen a couple of them joints.
Yeah. So, we stick to what we are in our community and our culture, which is hip hop and Black culture. And, that's what the network is about, yo. We also have the music side, which is Truth is the Label, which is over. And that's what he's feverishly working on all the time. We have the Gym Complex where we record in South Carolina. Shout out to Merv. Merv is always overseeing and taking care of us, making sure our times are scheduled and et cetera. And Keys Ali, he helps with content. He is our content creator. And we are a growing network, and this is not something that we're looking to make money or anything like that overnight. This is something that we want to have long-term and grow long-term. And there are a number of different services that we offer just besides podcasts and things like that. So definitely be on the lookout for us. And if you're interested in speaking with us, you can check out the I Say Podcast Network and, reach out to myself or the I Say Podcast Network on Instagram. And we'll definitely speak with you and see where you're at.
And now we got the How to Hustle podcast with Hype, 10 a.m. on Friday, starting July the 9th. That's today now,
What
July
they
9th, when this drops.
what they gonna do with a Philly joint? You know what I'm saying? What they gonna do with a Philly
Hey,
connection?
that's what I'm saying. You know, we like to come in, elbows out, and take over the situation.
Sir. Yes,
All
sir.
right, one thing on the 336 before we go. We're gonna try to get all the fellas from the 336 on so we can talk all about that. But
Yeah.
if I'm tuning into the 336 podcast, what am I expecting as a new listener?
As a new listener, you're gonna hear us talk about sometimes worse than you got when you was a kid that was just dumb. It's gonna make you laugh, right? Stuff that's gonna make you laugh. We get in our relationship bag. We might have some ladies on to talk about relationships and expectations. We might have a therapist on. You feel me? Talk about how to be better, how to be a better person, how you can grow your own self-worth. Sometimes we just come on and we just talk our shit just to be funny. You know what I mean? We always are going to give you a twist to make your day. We are Monday. We drop at 12 a.m. on Mondays. But yeah, man, if you tune in, you're going to get fun, different types of topics. Sometimes it's political. It's just some of everything you're going to get from us. But we all have our own unique spin with the co-host and myself.
Okay, shouts out to the 336. I've been on the 336 twice. You check them archives, you will find me, you know what I'm saying, in there. I likes to get around.
Yes,
International hype. All right, that's episode 21. Frank, I appreciate you for coming on. I Say Radio Podcast Radio Network. Thank you for bringing me on to the team. X Squad affiliates, GFT Radio Network, WTNUphilly.com. This is how you hustle, baby. We are out.